Hey guys, welcome back to According To. I'm Megan.
And I'm Ciera. Megan and I thought for today's episode it would be fun to talk about some of our best and worst purchases for the year of 2022. Given that it's early 2023, hopefully this will help us get some insight into this year, some purchases that we make, if they'll be good or bad, by reflecting on the
spending
past.
habits and things like that. Honestly, when I was planning for this episode, I do have more best purchases than worst purchases, at least like from my memory.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like we'll talk about stuff and then like other stuff will get brought into my mind of like, oh yeah, that's a regret. But overall, I was more happy with my purchases than upset. So I think that's good.
I agree. It was hard for me to come up with worst purchases, partly because it's hard to like think through. Like I could go through like all of my bank statements to like do this, but I did not do that to prepare. Like a lot of what I did was going through like my camera roll and like seeing
That's
if
what I
things
did
popped
too.
up that
like,
way,
what?
Which is hard because then it's like mostly physical things that I bought, and it's hard to think about like other things that I may have purchased, like experience stuff or whatever else. But yeah, I definitely had more positive purchases. But like you said, hopefully as we get going, if you think of a bad purchase, maybe I had something similar and it'll bring it to my attention. I don't know.
Before we do that, we always like to start with our weekly spotlights and just kind of catch up with things we've been doing recently. So I would say my weekly spotlight this isn't so much centered around me, but seeing Damar Hamlin's recovery in the past week has been really positive, and I think it's been nice just to see how much it's brought everyone together. And if somehow you don't know what I'm talking about, during the Bengals versus Bills last Monday night when they were playing their game into the first quarter, Damar Hamlin collapsed and had cardiac arrest on the field. And, you know, I wasn't so sure that we were going to have positive news coming
at all,
let
alone this soon.
But the fact that like he started trending into such a positive direction as soon as he did, and now seeing just within a week where he's at, it's been
crazy,
really just positive. And I think that it's been nice to see how it's brought everyone together, and just it's more like it's been a community creating event, I guess. So
yeah, for sure, a big spotlight. For me, a spotlight I think would just be we are finishing up like the first week of the new year, and I think that granted it's only week 1 of 52, but I'm kind of staying on top of the things that I want to keep at the forefront of my mind right now in terms of like those goals that we were talking about last week. Last week was a long week, and I have no idea why. We vlogged that whole week. If you guys want to see our whole, start toward 2023 reset with, goals, resolutions, studying a lot for boards right now. But I was like, it was Wednesday, and I was like, this has already been the longest week ever, and it's only 3 days in. So I don't know if anyone else felt like the first week of 2023 was just the longest week ever, but I for sure did. It was a good week, but I was like, wow, when is it the weekend? Mm-hmm. Mostly because I was like, I'm not really studying on the weekends, and so I was like, can I get a day without studying?
Yeah. I was going to say, too, what was I going to say?
Was it about studying? Or goals, resolutions?
I got my resume last week. I decided to, we had a class in PT school where we worked on resumes and whatnot, but then I kind of, pulled it back up. I knew I needed to edit something because one of my last clinicals that I had listed on there ended up changing, so I was like, I already knew I needed to edit it a little bit. But then I was just looking at it, and it looked okay, but then I was looking up other resume examples and samples, and I didn't love how mine looked, so I kind of just redid some things and edited it, so that's good. I think now Haley's gonna look at it one more time, and assuming that that's good, then it's okay, I have a resume now that I can submit. Which part of me was maybe next week I'll start submitting it. Then part of me was kind of I'm just really starting to get into a timeline where it's we're getting closer to boards and vacation, and I don't know how long different companies draw out the interview process, and I don't necessarily want to be unavailable right in the smack dab middle of it. Mm-hmm. So, and also part of me is kind of I should maybe try to consider going through and having multiple interviews kind of within the same period of time. So then I was well, I certainly don't feel like I want to do 2 interviews before we do boards. So now I'm kind of leaning a little bit more towards just doing stuff when we're back from Hawaii, but I know you run the risk of the jobs that are posted might not be there when
you get back.
When you're back. But I don't know. That's kind of still where I'm leaning. So we'll see. But
yeah, I have to edit my resume at some point, and then kind of in the same boat as you then, as far as like, do I do anything before? Do I just wait till we get back? I don't know. I haven't decided. So.
All right.
Should we pull up our lists?
Pull up the list and see. Do you want to start best or worst purchases?
I have more best than worst, so maybe you start with best.
Okay.
My best purchase that I have listed first, this isn't, I guess, in order, but I guess in how I thought of them, was our house.
That was my first one, too. I kind of figured it would be
on the list. It was the biggest purchase of 2022, so it deserved a spot on the list, whether good or bad, but it's in the good category.
Yeah, I feel like especially, like, beginning of this year, I really was like, I mean, the housing market was literally crazy and insane, and I was kind of feeling a little bit like, is this a good time to buy? Is this going to be something that we regret later at all? But I will say things have like gotten less crazy, and like the interest rates are still like high. They've gotten higher since we even bought our house. So I do feel like at the end of the day, like given the circumstances of knowing that we wanted a house soon-ish, I don't regret buying our house when we did. I thought it made sense. I loved having our house when we were back in Des Moines, and I felt like confident when we were buying our house and knowing that, like, yes, we're not done with our program in Iowa City, but, like, we're here basically until, like, we're basically moved back. And Ciera had, like, her clinical in Cedar Rapids, but I was like, I feel like this is an appropriate time to, like, kind of move out and do our own thing. And a lot of people maybe would normally go move back in with parents, but when we were in a spot to be able to buy a house, and then also, like, we've already been living on our own for 4 or 5 years at that point, it's like, I love my parents and all, but I want my own space. And especially since Ciera and I wanted to expand the podcast, have like a specific room to record videos and stuff, like we wanted the space. And so this house has been everything we could have asked for and more. It has literally everything we need, and love this purchase.
Mm-hmm. I think that, I mean, we were lucky in that when we like bought a house, I only saw like a few comments here and there of people saying like, are you sure you should have done this? Like being really iffy, especially since we're just sisters. Like we're not, you know, for the long term, like for our life, we're not going to be living together. And so people are like, are you sure about this? Like going in on this with your sister? And I actually saw a TikTok either like shortly before we bought our house or shortly after. And it made me feel better because it was just like this girl talking about how her and her brother had bought a house together. And she's like, why aren't more people like doing this? Like, why do we only say you should buy a house if it's like completely by yourself or with a significant other? Because buying a house helps you build your own equity, and month-wise, like obviously you have to put a down payment in, and like that's just how it is. But month-to-month payments, like we're paying less monthly than we were for our apartment. Mm-hmm. And so I'm just like, it makes sense for us. Like financially, we were able to do it. We see ourselves living together for probably like a couple years. So, I mean, to me, it was just like, it wasn't that big of a deal that we were just siblings.
I agree.
So, yeah. And I think that I was like, really, like when you're first talking about this, that's also why I didn't want to talk about it before we bought the house, because I was like, I know if we talk about it before, we're going to get comments and stuff from people saying we shouldn't do this.
Yeah, like dissuading us.
And so I was like, if we're doing this, I want to do it like just on my own free will, and then like have it be too far said and done for anyone to say anything otherwise. That would make me be like, oh no, like should we be doing this?
Yeah.
And also just like our house is great, location's great. Couldn't, like, honestly, it's everything we asked for and more.
And it was like during the process, it was disheartening because houses would be on for like a day or two and then they're gone. And being in Iowa City at the beginning of the year when we like could really, we only had so much flexibility with like coming and looking at houses, I was like just getting really frustrated with the whole process. And then there was one house that we put an offer in on and we didn't get that house. And I mean, I loved that house, but I'm also like, I love this house more. So in a way, like, it all worked out for the best. Yeah.
All right. What is your next best purchase of 2022?
So this one, the house is a big one. So this one's going to seem super random and unimportant, but our beach chair and cooler.
I have beach supplies
really?
too. Yeah.
It just, so over the summer, when it was nice out, obviously, I mean, I used to be like a bring a towel to the beach kind of person, and maybe I'd bring like snacks, but like I just brought like a bottle of pop and let it get warm.
It was me, myself, and I at the beach.
Yeah. And so beginning of the summer, that's what Ciera and I did still like a couple times. And then I was like, I would see other people on the beach and I'm like, we could do better. We could have a more fulfilling experience if we invest a little bit. And so we got some beach chairs from Target, and like we have like folding tailgate chairs, but I wanted like these low beach chairs that fold up. And then we got like a cooler, which is also like the perfect size for like a little side table between the chairs. We also have an umbrella, but we have yet to use it because like it also gets quite windy sometimes in the summer, and I've been scared to actually, we used it once, but I was holding onto that thing for dear life because it was so windy. But it elevated the beach experience.
I think also just because since we're huge readers now, reading at the beach became like something that we would regularly do. And like laying on a towel, I found to be like uncomfortable to like, if I would lay on my stomach and prop my elbows up, then my hands would like start falling asleep. If I lay on my back, I'm holding the book up over my face, and that's uncomfortable for an extended period of time. And I didn't want to just like sit up unsupported for hours on end.
It just made it super easy for us to like, especially since we were working full time during the summer, to have just kind of like that escapism still after work to look forward to say like, I would just leave like my beach chair in the car, and sometimes we would just like go straight there after work, and you still have like a nice little afternoon, evening.
And like honestly, it probably took Megan and I a long time before, like we probably should have had a nice cooler before this year. But I've always been someone who's like, oh, someone else will bring a cooler, like someone else will be that person. And when it was just us going to the beach, like we were the only people. So I was like, okay, like you said, we'd always bring a pop, but it would always end up getting warm, and warm pop is not very good. So we got a cooler. It was very nice. It had like the open bottom where you could put the ice and stuff in, and then one of those trays on top where you can put like snacks and stuff, and little cup holders when the lid is closed. Like it was a nice cooler. We still have it, so it is still nice. But I was like, wow, after our first day using all that stuff, I was like, wow, I think we just changed the game.
Yeah.
With our beach days. So it was just nice, and it deserves a spot on our best purchases list. So next one that I have was the couch, because I'm the one that bought the couch.
Yeah, I thought of the couch, but you were the one that bought it.
So it was really stressful to buy a couch, especially for our upstairs living room, because like it has to be,
because I think we've said this before, but Ciera and I, we've decided to like, we purchase separate things for the house, so that way by the time we eventually move out, like we have designated pieces we've purchased. And Ciera got stuck with the couch. So
yeah, and so
it was more her decision to like buy the couch and what she wanted.
It was a lot of trying to navigate, okay, what's a good price to spend on a couch, trying to keep it reasonably affordable, but I was willing to like splurge just a little bit because I wanted it to be nice and last a while, trying to fit it in the size of our living room, since our living room is not an awkward shape, but like it is like you have to have a walkway within the living room to get from the dining area to the stairs. And so needing to keep that in mind, that the couch can't just be like this huge like looping monstrosity, wanting to have enough space. Megan and I really like deep couches.
Yeah,
and so
that was
like these couches that we're sitting on are not deep couches, but it's fine for podcasting because, you know, I should be sitting probably upright and not just like lounging. But we had the luxury of our couch that we got from our grandparents for our college apartment. That was a deep couch. Like if my butt was all the way in the back, like it'd be at least to my knees when I was like sitting on the couch. And I just like a deep couch. I like to be able to lean back and lounge a little bit. And so when we were trying out different couches at Homemakers, I'd like sit down and I would say, I can't lean back and lounge. That was another issue at my apartment thing that I was in Cedar Rapids. That couch was not deep, and I was just like sitting like this when I was like watching TV. And I was like, I hate this. And then we had like this look that we were going for. I was like, do we do light or dark? We wanted light pretty early on. And I just think that
you know what? Maybe we'll regret that once we get a dog, but
maybe
we'll have to get probably like specific, like I imagine we'll get like a handheld vacuum or like a wire little comb thing to try and keep it clean. Or like we might have to be the people that put a blanket on the couch and it's not going to look as nice, but at least the dog hair is handled.
So just like having had this couch for many months now, like at least 6 months, I'm just very happy with it. I think it's very comfortable. still pretty clean. Like, we've been pretty mindful of, like, when we're eating on the couch. Well, we usually, like, eat on the floor anyways, just because we use the table. But if I am eating on the couch, I'll, like, have a blanket around me to be like, we have to protect the couch.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very comfortable. Have no complaints about it.
And it's convertible. We could switch it so it's got the
we could
lounge
move the
chase on the other side, but we probably won't do that.
Yeah. But if I move and I need to move it somewhere else, I could do the other side.
I think another best purchase that I wrote down was podcast rebranding, mostly because that was like an investment we had to put back into the business, which we hadn't really done up to that point. And I think it's just helped to, we've taken it more seriously, I think. And so I thought back to that, like when I was looking at my camera roll, I scrolled through like
all those pictures,
bunch of pictures that we took. And I thought that was a good idea. And hopefully we'll continue to do more of that in the future. It's not like we spent a ridiculous amount of money on that, so I thought it was just like a good, reasonable, smart business decision on our part.
Did we ever like tell them how much effort it was like to get all the supplies up to our photo shoot
story time
room? I hope we didn't say this, but if we did, I'm sorry. When we did our whole rebrand photo shoot, we brought all of the props with us, and so one of those props was a like large table set, like
commonly used in like tailgate scenarios. Like it's just like a high top with like 2 stools, but we were kind of like, that'll look close enough to like a retro
like diner
thing that we need.
And when we went to the studio that the photographer we were working with had like rented out for the day, it was like weird because we had to have how are the doors working? Wasn't it like locked from the outside?
Yeah, the door to the building, because it's like this building and then like a million freaking studios in that thing, like just different rooms for whoever has rented the room. And they're not all studios for photography, but like I don't know what they're all for. It's basically like a co-working space, but like there's separate
art,
rooms,
like stuff. And so we tried to get in, doors were locked. Eventually someone comes out of the building and we get in that way.
Snatch.
But we have all this stuff in our car, and so I think we take turns. Like one person goes to the car and the other person stays inside.
We went and found the room because we were like, let's figure out where this is at first. Kind of a confusing building. So, but we found it eventually, and we went back down. We're like, okay, we need to get our props. So, give us a moment. And we had to have the car was only parked so close. Like it was okay, but someone had to like go out and get stuff. Hard enough to do both by one person, but the other person had to stand by the door to keep it open. And then maybe we kept like a chair or something propped in after like that first run so that both of us could start bringing stuff
inside. The tables and chairs was a lot. We had like a couple boxes full of stuff. Then we had to take the stuff up the elevator into the co-working space studio. And like when I tell you how out of breath we were and just like exhausted, I was like, oh my God.
It was a lot.
So
next time we do something like that, we won't need the table and chairs.
No.
So that should help.
Okay. Next one I have as the best purchase was the wall art that we got from Etsy.
I had that too.
Really? Like wall art specifically?
Yes, because what a good deal. It is such a good deal. That's so funny. I was sitting okay. We've got 3 different things, so I feel like it's top of the mind. Basically, if you're looking for like nice artwork, but also you want it to be affordable, because artwork can be expensive.
So expensive. And more power to you if you are able to like pay top dollar for like an original piece of art. I respect it, but I also respect affordability.
And so on Etsy, there's like multiple sellers that like you'd be able to find this stuff. I think that in general, the design we're talking about, it's like usually the same-ish price point of like $100-something or what have you. But it's like canvases, good size, framed. I mean, what more can you ask for? We've got it in our living room. We have like a set of 3.
My room?
I have a set of 3 in my room. Ciera has a set of 3 in her room. I'm not super creative with like interior design. Like I know what I like, but I also am like, I got a budget and I want a lot for a little. So it's just like large art that
and I was like, I want this to just take up the wall. So I like picked, I don't know if this is the biggest size or the second to biggest, but I just was like, I want it to take up the wall and like me have to do nothing.
And so, yeah, I also just really liked the art that we were able to find. So I have Monet upstairs. Or is it Monet down here?
It's Matisse down here, I think.
Matisse down here. I think that I have Monet in my room. There's like, prints I don't have an original. I do not have an original.
Mine's just like a sunburst thing, so it's not like a specific artist, I don't think. But yeah, it's just, I love it. It fills up the walls, and it's an upgrade for sure from our apartment. I just had those printed. I think they're still from Etsy.
They're
like,
from
Etsy's great
6.
for getting art.
Society 6.
My prints?
Oh, your prints?
Not like in.
Oh. Sorry, I was thinking of our apartment living room.
No. I was thinking of the ones in my room. And I just had printed them off.
Especially artwork is one thing, but then having to frame it yourself.
I know.
And find the frames. So the fact that these Etsy things were pre-framed, I was all for it.
I was sold. I would have paid more than what we did to have it pre-framed.
Yeah.
Because framing something is expensive, and I don't even know how to do that. Do I just take it in and say, frame this? I don't know. But I'm very happy with the frames that we got and the art that we got, and I think that it just livens up the space, and I love looking at them.
And we've got a guest room to decorate, so who knows?
Expect more Etsy prints, probably.
I have something pinned as an idea, and I showed you it, but it's that would need 2 prints, so we wouldn't necessarily need a set of 3, but
I also just love the sets of 3 that a lot of them come in, because then it's just you just make it look good for me. I don't have to figure out which prints go well together.
Yeah. And also because originally before we moved in, we were kind of planning on doing a gallery wall down here. But the actual doing a gallery wall is a lot more daunting, and a lot of figuring out what looks good piece-wise together, and then also the actual hanging up of the artwork. So we kind of quickly were maybe not.
Maybe don't do that.
And I have no regrets. Okay, my next thing for best purchases are plane tickets. 1, because I don't regret them, but 2, because Pomelo Travel. And we only used those for Hawaii this year, but we've used them before. And so it's a newsletter that I'm signed up for. I literally convinced 2 of the younger therapists on my last rotation to sign up for this newsletter. Because it's a free newsletter. They deliver deals, a couple times a week. And most of the time, I'm not necessarily traveling anywhere. So I look at them and then I kind of, just delete it. But then every once in a while, I'm wait, this might apply to me. And then I look to see if Des Moines happens to be listed. It is usually not. But there's surrounding airports like Omaha or Minneapolis or Chicago. So I'll look at those. And that's how we got our Hawaii round trip tickets for January for $300-something out of Omaha. And it is it's not 36 hours of travel. They are normal flights at an affordable price. And we also used that when we went to Europe and we went to Switzerland. So I just gotta say, it's one of those things where you cannot go wrong. There's nothing extra scammy going on. It's exactly like honey, where it's it only benefits you. There's nothing extra or weird or whatever. They just let me know when there's good deals, and they'll tell you how to search it, and you do it on your own. It's you're not doing anything through them.
How do they make money?
Well, there's a subscription thing they do too, where they'll send you even better deals.
Oh.
Or to specific airports that you're interested in, but I just do the free thing. So.
Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to going to Hawaii. So I didn't have that written down as a best purchase, but I agree. Next one that I have is my crisscross neck tank tops. So where did I get them from? Did I get them from? Oh wait, I do remember Dry Goods. But those crisscross tank tops are everywhere.
Made popular by Orizia, I feel like.
And so I liked it so much that when I got one of them dirty, which I don't even know how this stain got on. I have the one on white was the one I got originally. It somehow, after I washed it, got this huge orange sauce stain on it, which didn't make any sense because I didn't remember eating anything with sauce. But it was this huge stain, couldn't come out. And then I was well, I need to get this shirt again. So then I got the same shirt in white and black. And I just love it. I think that they're still very comfortable. It's an easy way to elevate an outfit where you're still just wearing a tank top, but it looks cuter. And so have no regrets. They're pretty affordable, especially since I got them from Dry Goods and not Orizia. But yeah, I'm excited to wear them again, hopefully in Hawaii.
Next thing that I have listed for best purchases are Some of the Nathan James furniture that we have.
I have that our bookshelf.
The bookshelf specifically is what I was thinking of, but then also because I was so pleased with our bookshelf, I also got my nightstands from there. It is great quality for an affordable price, which like that's really all you can ask for. And that bookshelf out there, like
I love the bookshelf.
Love the bookshelf. It looks so good, and like because it's so simplistic, simple. And then you nail it to the wall, just like so sleek. And like the walnut shelves, it really pulls things together so nicely.
And I love how it's open, so it's not like blocking anything. Like you still have like nice sight lines. Not that you have to like, you don't see through the bookcase or anything, but I feel like if it was just like thick, like solid wood.
It like will close off the space a little bit more.
I think it does a nice job separating the spaces between our living room and like our dining area, but also like connecting them. The bookshelves or like the books themselves to me add a beautiful pop of color. I love having the books
like,
displayed.
Our dad is someone who like he doesn't care about books at all, and he's really not much of like an interior design person either. But like multiple times, like he'll just be like, "I love your bookshelf," like
that it just
looks so good. So, and I really like my nightstands that I got from there too.
Like I think our bookshelf is my favorite part of our living room.
It's a nice,
like just downstairs
nice
area.
So love that. Yeah.
Okay. This is the last one that I had written down for my best purchases, but our hard drive was one that I had written down. So surprisingly, after doing YouTube stuff for 10 years, Megan and I had not purchased a hard drive once.
We never really saved our footage.
No.
It would be like, we got stuff posted. We probably didn't need it anymore. Or if we did, like you could just go download the worst quality video from YouTube. And that worked for us if we needed it too.
And like we'd run into these issues once in a while, like having to like reduce storage on our computer, try and delete stuff and whatever. But it just came to a head this year when we started doing the video version of the podcast. And these file sizes are huge because we're recording like an hour of video. And our computers were just like not handling it. And so we decided to bite the bullet and get a hard drive. They are expensive, especially like obviously the more storage.
Actually, the one we got, like it's expensive, but the one we got, which I couldn't tell you the brand, but we got it from Target. It was more affordable than I was expecting it to be.
But
although, when I was at Target getting this, I could not find someone that was working there to freaking get it unlocked for me at all. Because it's one of those things that it was like locked away in a cupboard. So I was in the tech area of Target trying to find someone. No one's there at all. So then I start walking around like the nearby aisles. Still hard to find someone. And then eventually I was just like, I eventually did find someone who was like, anyone working over here? And they happened to be like on their break. But so I guess it just wasn't good timing. All right, so next thing, this one kind of was a question mark to me because I'm like, is this a best purchase? And I didn't fully realize it, and I'll explain. Curology's gel moisturizer. I'm not sure how much of an impact it has on my skin or not, but I've been consistently using their gel moisturizer, which is like the non-specific one, basically as my like everyday face moisturizer. And then I ran out, which I had so many for like so long, and then I finally ran out and I was like, dang. And I'm open to trying new products. I will do that pretty frequently, and I didn't feel like ordering more online, so I went and got a different moisturizer that I thought my face was okay with, and maybe it is, I don't know, I'm speculating. But there's this like Neutrogena Hydro Boost one that Ciera used to have.
I use right now.
She's using it.
I like my water-based gels.
It kind of reminded me of the Curology one, but like my face like freaked out after I started using it. Maybe it was just bad timing. I do not know.
Maybe it's just sometimes your skin freaks out when it changes products.
And so yeah. And then I also bought like this other moisturizer thing because I was like, in case it was that, I was gonna get like a gentler one, but I still wasn't like necessarily gonna get Curology. So I got a different one, and then I just like did not like that one. It was like had a sunscreen in it, and I could tell it had sunscreen in it, so I didn't like that, and it was like very just like hard to rub in. And then Target sells Curology now, at least like the non-specific prescription ones, and so I picked one up, and my face improved. So whether
they
or
might
not,
know what they're talking about.
Whether or not it was actually the Curology, that's what I've been sticking with again. And so I thought,
and now she will stick with it.
Maybe they might have a loyal customer in me now. So yeah.
All right.
I guess Are you done with your best?
Oh, yeah, I'm done with my best purchases.
So next I have my Lululemon belt bag. I got that in the summer, and I think I've said it before, but I love that thing, and it works perfectly for me because I don't like crossbodies or carrying like a bag or purse around. So I either put it on or it like fits in my coat pocket pretty good, and it just makes things convenient for me because my alternative that I was doing before that was horrendous. It was a Coach wallet filled to the brim because I have asthma.
It's a wallet.
And I need to have an inhaler with me, but I didn't want to bring a crossbody, and so I'd have like the ugliest little Coach wallet that was like bursting at the zipper because I fit an inhaler in there somehow. So the belt bag was made for me.
I do have to give a shout out to my Amazon belt bag that I got for Christmas. It's just as good as the Lululemon one, so if you don't want to spend as much money, get that one. Because at first I thought I would be like, oh, like I kind of want the Lululemon one because it's like just what everyone has and whatever. But the Amazon one like is just as good, and I haven't really had any thoughts about, oh, this isn't Lululemon. So I'm very happy with that,
especially because the Lululemon ones are kind of sold out a lot. So the last two that I have are, I wasn't sure I was going to put them because they were gifts, so I didn't purchase them, but I thought that they deserved honorable mentions. Our air fryer. We were gifted that as a graduation gift. We have raved about it on the vlogs. It has been very, very good for cooking and just getting us to be a little bit more creative with our meals.
And that's a lot since it's the best purchase of 2022. We only had it for like 2 or 3 weeks
made an impression
in 2022.
But
I feel like we've had it forever now.
Number 2, I kind of was debating on like throwing like all of my hair related stuff in because like I think delved into that this year. So like my Shark Flex style is like the thing listed on here. That was like a Christmas gift. But like I also got like hot rollers this year. Like everything kind of has like a different purpose for whatever phase of hair journey I'm in. I've got like the little like heatless sleep-in wave things. So just like a shout out to all of my hair stuff that I've been expanding on this year.
No Ugg slippers as your best purchase? Is that a worst purchase? Wouldn't that be funny?
No, I do love them, but I didn't put them on the list. So okay, moving into worst purchases.
Okay, so I have 3 purchases that I thought of, so hopefully you've got stuff that will make me think of something. Controversial first pick, I didn't want to put it in, but I said my triangle swimsuits that I purchased for our spring break trip to Florida. So that was my orange, like stripey kind of tiger print one, and then just like a red terry cloth one. I still think they're cute and I'll wear them, but I'm just wondering if like triangles style just like isn't necessarily what I prefer anymore. Like their bottoms especially are very like slim cut, and I don't know if I like that style as much on me anymore. And so I've worn them. I wore them during that trip, obviously. I've probably worn them since then too. But I also think that aside from a few like pop of color swimsuits, I think I'm more of a neutral girly, and I'm probably wiser spending my money on swimsuits, like at least expensive swimsuits. I'm probably wiser on spending like buying more neutral pieces than the bright colors.
Mm-hmm. So my first category, if you will, is clothing that I did not think enough about prior to purchasing. And so I've got a couple different things in here that fit. And so what I mean is like usually when I'm looking to buy something, I kind of know ideally like what I want in my head that is, but then like I have a hard time finding said thing that I want. So I kind of give in a little bit and I'll say like, well, this is like maybe close enough and it doesn't quite meet like what I'm looking for. And so then like inevitably I'm still kind of on that journey to like keep looking for and buying said thing that I couldn't find, even though I already like purchased this one thing to like make do in the meantime. So example of that is some jean shorts that I bought. Like I have been on the search, since like probably spring break of this year to like have like
last year.
The pair more this year.
Spring break of last year?
Oh, well, sorry. I forgot it was 2023. Like I have been wanting a pair of mid to light wash, no rips, frayed edges, high-waisted, longer length, but also like tighter-ish longer length. I don't like when they're like flared, and I don't necessarily want them to be like
interesting
because
I don't like the tight long shorts.
difference of opinion.
Yeah.
So in my head, that's what I want, or at least like what I want to try. And so I purchased like these like Levi's shorts from Shields like last summer when I really didn't have like a pair of jean shorts otherwise. And they're just like, they're not what I was looking for. So inevitably, I'm still searching for
I just ordered some
shorts.
jean shorts. Shout out to whoever commented, like, check out Abercrombie, because I swear I checked them out before.
I've got
like,
a pair
iffy.
screenshotted to maybe try ordering them. I haven't decided whether or not I should. I also have swimsuits listed on here, like the Kulani Kinis ones that I got for spring break, and we did like a whole try-on video for them. At the time, I thought I wanted what I ordered. Like, I wanted the high leg shorts. I wanted like something a little bit different. But in practice, those bottoms don't stay put or where I want them very well. Like, they're just like almost like too high-waisted. And so inevitably I don't wear like the entire swimsuit then, because I don't like mix matching bottoms and tops of swimsuits. And so I do not have bottoms then for said tops. There is one of like the green one that I got. I do still like that one because the bottoms are different. That pink and
red one is that from Kulani? Is that from a different one? I like that one.
Have you worn the bottoms with it?
The pink and red floral one?
Oh, that's bright swimwear.
Oh, I like that one. That's not what you listed, but
no, it's not. And then
I think they're really cute, like they are, but like I've tried them on, I'm just like, it just makes me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, like I'm just more hesitant to like do things, which isn't what I like. So I'm searching around for like, where is like the brand of swimsuit that is like gonna do it for me. And I don't know. I did purchase a swimsuit from Nash Swim that I really like.
That's GNASH.
Like, I really like it, but they don't have that many styles, honestly, on their website. So, you know, it's not going to be like my new go-to swimsuit or swim company if they don't really have anything else that I like. So, I'll be searching for swimsuits.
I'm trying to not, like, for this Hawaii trip, I'm trying to not, like, buy a ton of stuff.
See, like, I'm trying not to either, but then I'm like, there's just little things. Like, I have, like, my White Fox white triangle bikini. I really like that top. But I don't like the bottoms that I have with it anymore. They're, like, they're too small and, like, not the fit that I want. So then I'm like, can I find just, like, white ribbed bottoms? And I've tried looking, but it's been challenging.
I think obviously, it's, like, stuff that I'm going to wear beyond this trip. Like, I had to get, like, little, like, hiking shoes, which hopefully I'll, like, make use of, not just for this trip. But since we booked like a thing to go to like a volcano in Hawaii, and I'm like, I'm not gonna wear my nice tennis shoes to do that. So those were actually like, mine were only like $30.
I found one for $50, so that
wasn't bad.
Tried to find like a deal because I am not typically wearing hiking boots.
Otherwise I got, again, jean shorts, which like I came to mind now because I'm going to Hawaii, but like I've been looking for jean shorts, and like I got one pair from Target last year that were fine, but just still not the length that I want. So I have one pair of jean shorts that I own right now and wear. So hopefully these will add to that collection.
And then, the last specific thing that I have, I guess I have like two kind of things. Basically, like, if I just have clothing regrets, I just wish I would take the time to like think things a little bit more before doing it. So it applies to anything. I ordered a bunch of scrubs for my last clinical, and I ordered a bunch of different brands because I wanted to make a TikTok
Mandala
for
scrubs
them.
On here.
It's because you got the wrong size.
Okay, but why are their sizes so crazy?
But so I ordered a bunch of different like brands because I wanted to do a TikTok. So that's like the fine part. Like, if I wanted to do that, whatever, fine. But then what I should have done is, if I liked a specific brand the most, I should have just sent the other ones back and like gotten more of the ones that I like. Or like some of the sizing, I'm like, maybe I would have preferred a size up, but I still didn't like take the time to send it back or exchange sizes or anything. So just like things like that, where I'm like, why now am I just dealing with these joggers that I think are like just a little bit too short when I could have exchanged them. And then the last one was, this is a bummer, but like my Cloud slide-on slippers that I purchased from Amazon, they weren't like expensive by any means, but Haley told me that she saw someone on TikTok say like, oh, like they like shrink in the sun. And I was kind of like, they probably don't. But they fit when I first got them, and they are tight now.
Really?
So they must apparently shrink in the sun because they are not comfortable to wear now. So that was kind of a bummer purchase.
I had my Mandala scrubs. I got them in a size small, which is my typical size, and the waistband was huge. So Megan got an extra small, which apparently those fit, but like honestly the size differential between the extra small and small is insane. They need to fix that. But I had a pair of gray scrub bottoms and then a pair of black scrub bottoms from them that I kind of go back and forth between for my second clinical. Honestly, I feel like more of the time I just ended up wearing my Brooklyn pants from Athleta anyways, because I was like, this is so annoying to wear. And like when I would put them on, tighten them up, I'd pull the drawstrings and I'd be like, whoosh, tighten them up as much as I could. And then I hated also just like the waistband is like this thick, but the drawstring is just like a little itty bitty string. And I just thought that was weird.
Mm-hmm. So next category I had was select Facebook Marketplace finds. This wasn't a big deal because the stuff we got from Facebook Marketplace was cheap. But like the original dining room chairs that we had, we got them for like $40, I think, knowing that there was like a broken seat and just kind of like assuming like we will fix the seat. I just think, realistically I should have been like, that's probably not going to happen. And then it just ended up being like this headache. Like we just got rid of those chairs last weekend because they were sitting in our garage. So they stuck with us for a while, but it was just an unnecessary
I loved them.
purchase.
Like the idea of them, I loved, but we just couldn't figure out how to like fix the cane.
And they like weren't the sturdiest. And then the other thing is like our dining table that we have right now. We got that for like $50, and I like overall the look of it is nice. The top's not the greatest.
It's a little chipped, scratched,
and then
whatever.
Like there's also it's a little loose.
It turns.
And I haven't looked to see if we can like tighten that ourselves or not. Like I don't mind the purchases. We went like the
Good
more
find was
economical route. Our coffee table.
I love that.
Facebook Marketplace find.
Put that in the best purchase list. It's so cute. I love the little like wood bamboo look of the bottom and then the glass tabletop. It's been great.
So those are my Facebook Marketplace like submisses.
So I have for a worst purchase. This is my last one that I have written down, and it has the potential to be redeemed this year, but it's our pickleball gear.
I did think of that
because we said that we fell into the thing that we weren't going to fall in, where we were like, we can't make this just like a month-long hobby. Like we have to do this for the summer, and then inevitably, I will say it did get very hot.
Where like you
that part of the summer,
to go out and play pickleball.
So, but then like when it started cooling down, I just feel like we didn't get back into it. And so at this point in time, I would say we have not played enough pickleball for the purchase to have been worth it. But this year, if we can redeem ourselves, maybe that'll change.
Yeah. I'd agree. I'm hopeful. I think the reason I didn't put it is I'm hopeful we'll get back into it.
It's still sitting in my car, so it's ready to go whenever we are.
My last purchase that was like on my worst list was my student football tickets from last season. Only because I didn't consistently sell the ones that I didn't go to. I sold a couple of them, and I went to one home game. Otherwise, the rest was
a loss.
I didn't get my money's worth out of it. I love supporting the Hawks, so like in a way, I don't necessarily mind, but I could have gotten more money back out of it where I would have made a profit. I honestly don't know if I made a profit or not. Like maybe I broke even. So like, can you really say it's a worse purchase if you broke even? But
it definitely, and at no fault of our own completely, because we had some family stuff going on during football season.
And like we weren't playing as good as I was hoping we would. And so like
the urge to want to go to those football games was like, well, I don't want to go all the way to Iowa City if we're just going to lose.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was the last thing on my list.
Or like I had the idea of, I was going to be in Cedar Rapids. So I was like, oh, like I'll be in Cedar Rapids. Like I'll probably go to some games.
I had the intention to like come visit you eventually, but it just didn't
happen.
Then
it really just became like, I don't want to be in Cedar Rapids. Mm-hmm. I don't think I realized like until I got back, like I knew I didn't really like it up there, but like I like look back and I'm like, oh, poor girl. Had to like just go and hang out. Like my heated blanket was like
her saving grace.
What was getting me through. Like going up to my room in my apartment, turning my heated blanket on and like just having like the bedside lamp on and like the other lights off and just like vibing out with like my computer or whatever. Like that was what got me through like the last couple weeks because I did not want to be up there. My clinical was great. It's just the family, personal stuff, me living alone that I was like, this sucks. So anyway,
That's all I had.
that's all I had.
So, I really think we didn't do too bad on our purchases this year.
And I think the biggest ones were all positive. It'd be really bad to do like, I regret buying this house.
Yeah.
Like,
That'd be upsetting.
Thank God. I think it'd be fun if you guys can think of any of your best or worst purchases that you purchased in 2022. Comment them below. You can either warn people about things they shouldn't buy or say, oh my God, you guys need to buy this in 2023. And I'll take a look too, because I'm always
If
on
you
the hunt.
have, clearly some of my worst purchases or things I'm most frustrated about are just like not finding good clothing for affordable prices. And so if you guys think you have anywhere to turn me to, let me know. Otherwise, we will talk to you guys next Thursday.
Bye.